Welcome to Gemini season, guys. We are going to take a peek at your love life, see how your partner's feeling about you, any important actions you need to take for the month, and overall, I'm just going to cover a couple things as far as major major things going on in astrological, aspects. If you've got some big projects going on, especially if you're seeing this towards the end of anytime in May, before you get to the beginning of June, make sure if you've got some big projects that you're really working on, get things kind of in order and organized. They don't have to be perfect, but there is kind of a wrapping up energy happening that first week in June. So I would recommend, if you have any last minute things that you need to do, just to kind of work on that so that you can be in the best position for that, because apparently whatever it is you're working on has definitely been very important to you and has a pretty big reward for you. So I would definitely check those details. Speaking of checking details, towards the middle of the month, we've got some new things happening. So, I wouldn't make yourself super busy at that particular point where you're just kind of overwhelmed. I would just kind of make sure you're double checking those details and don't overdo it. Okay, you don't want to overdo yourself during that time. Make sure if you need some grounding, you're doing that. And then we've got some nostalgic stuff kind of happening. Deeper rooted conversations taking place around the 18th of the month. But those are times when I would recommend to stay very mature and realistic with those conversations. I wouldn't exaggerate. I wouldn't, sell yourself up in any kind of a way. I would just stay really practical and realistic in that. And then towards the end of the month, we've got a really good opportunity to just kind of take the lead on certain aspects that you've been, these bigger pieces that you've been working towards, bigger goals, things that you've been really trying to get going. There is going to be kind of an oomph in that direction with a major transit, basically. So when we have those major transits, we've got new opportunities coming. So keep that in mind. The major transit is Mars enters Aries. So that does make sense, just because Aries has a lot to do with those things that you've been pondering on and thinking about, putting all that energy into manifesting, and now we've kind of got some of those answers coming too by the end of the month. So if you've been waiting for some bigger answers, I would say some of them should be coming in by the end of the month. If you want to look at your personal situation, please do so. Remember, this is a general reading, guys, so take with this and leave the rest. All right, let's get into it. Hey, Pisces, let's take a look and see how the relationship is currently looking between you and the person that you are interested in. What is the current position here? What's it looking like? And then we'll dive into how they feel about you and some specifics here. This one wanted to pop out there, if you noticed. The energy is gaining momentum, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. So good news and good news. That's a win-win situation for you, because it's saying that not only is something that you've been hoping will kind of come to an end and have a refreshing type of an upgrade, or just kind of a new door opening, or taking it to the next level, or whatever it is to you, that is approaching. And what may have seemed like kind of a slump or slowdown is definitely getting into a position of feeling like things are speeding up, things are happening. You're starting to see some of that momentum gaining in just day-to-day stuff or interactions, or even intuitively. So that's a good sign. That's good news. Let's get an idea of how they are feeling about you. Abundance. That's a great one to have, with some citrine and acceptance. Another win-win for you, Pisces. So this is saying that the person of interest is getting into a mental and spiritual and loving state to where they are really okay with where they're at right now, and they are in a good position of dreaming of things in the future. That being okay in the present and still dreaming of the future. Aquarius got that card. And so it's saying that there's a really great realization here that they are feeling like this is going to happen. Like this is something that they're in the right space to do this and to move forward. That there's an acceptance of and a tolerance, which is required in a relationship to function and be good. And I think it's also an acceptance of themselves, of their situation, of their position in life, how they got there, all of those different pieces that made them. They are at a different type of a peace with that, and it's to let them maintain a certain balance that allows them to open new doors and to pursue things that they ultimately would have probably sooner, but there was a stagnancy there because they just had to take care of some of those things and get back into this type of an energy. So, and that's what you, actually let me pull one more card for just kind of what to expect from them here. Music, alright, I like that card. It's always an interesting card. Ancestors. So that tells me that there's like a vibrational increase when it comes to maybe, you know, just that wise and practical steps moving forward. Maybe they're getting some intuitive information and some wisdom, some new things and new doors unlocking with just insight, you know, and you're starting to see that, and that could be that progressive momentum that you are seeing from them. All right, let's get a peek and see where is this headed. Sun and stars. Make a move. So, you know, Pisces, you're always one to do that, to make that move. And you're always doing it in the direction of what's bigger and better and in the ultimate goal, what makes you happy and what you're wanting to manifest and all of these things. And it's headed in a direction to where you get to take these moments and make, you are fulfilling a thought, a dream that you've had, and you're actually going to be taking action in things that you've just thought about over and over and over again. Well, they're actually coming into a position for you to start making some of those moves finally in the relationship. And again, another win-win really, because in doing that, it makes you feel like you are an important piece to this relationship, and that, you know, this is a real thing happening. And it's also fulfilling, ultimately, your dream and the thing you were trying to manifest to begin with, which was a stable, healthy relationship. So, really great things. Making a move is going to be, and if you see there's two people there in sync with their emotions, with their actions, even with their pets or kids, or everything in their life is just syncing very, very nicely right now. And that's a really great thing. I'm glad to see that. So how to best communicate things with your partner or the person of interest here. Man, it's a lot of cards. Okay. Demonstrate love. Find out what's important to those you love and act on it. And I feel like there's a reciprocation of that happening right now. Where maybe it was you more than them in the past. Choosing love. You always have a choice, but make yours with love. So there's just been this, I was going to say, and this one too, there's been an intense amount of tolerance and patience, which is this one. Have patience. And it says patience is always love, and patience, love is patient and kind always, and romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So here's what I'm seeing out of these cards, Pisces, is that you've given these two things so much, actually all of these things you've done. And this is what's getting ready to take place. You get to not only start making moves in the relationship, but you're going to start having these opportunities where there's a lot of reciprocity and just loving moments coming back at you. Almost like there's just this empty bucket right now that just really needs that to start happening. And it is. It's going to start. And it's just going to be that stars and sun and stars and all of these. It's going to start just really fulfilling, you know, a desire that you've been wanting for quite some time. In the way of feeling like there's a give and take here. This is an equal partnership. We're both on the same page. We are going in the right direction. And that's super important to Pisces. Especially, I think you guys have been going through, you know, just a lot in the past, you know, while. And have faith in your dreams when it comes to how to maintain your balance. What a really great card to get, actually, for that type of a reading. It's saying, you know, just no matter what you've endured, no matter how far that you've come, just know that keeping that faith, even if it's unknown as hell right now, keeping that faith and keeping that dream in your forefront, however you need to do that for yourself. I don't think it's hard for Pisces to do that, but that is the key to maintaining your balance and not getting overwhelmed or emotional or in becoming unbalanced because of emotions. Staying positive and optimistic, that is the key at this particular moment. And man, oh man, do you get, I mean, great things are coming. So I wouldn't say that you'd be doing that for too long. I think that's just the maintaining part, is just how, even when you have it in your grasp, that's how you keep it in a very strong and healthy position. So that's a good message to get. I hope that resonated, and let me know if you have any questions or want to look at your personal situation. All the information on how to book a reading is down below. Much love, you guys.